them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20.
So, is this bold leadership or spiritual extortion?
Like I said in the chat, he is a kidnapping extortionist. I already told you. Kidnapping extortionist. That's a new term.
The problem to me is that this happened every Sunday. The only reason it was a big deal because he locked the doors. Yeah. You know, they'll be in church and be like, "Oh, you gotta give a certain amount." They'll ask for a certain amount. Somebody asks, "Who is this pastor?" It's Marvin Sapp's, right?
Marvin Sapp.
Marvin Sapp is a kidnapping extortionist. Marvin Sapp, you hear me, man?
Pastor Slim, what you think?
It's a stick up. That dude said, "Close the doors," and then he gave a specific amount. He ain't say put whatever you can in the offering. He ain't say that. That bro said put $20. So if you put in $5, you might not be leaving that.
What y'all didn't see in the back was that his staff, his pastors, they started going in their wallets. They started putting money out behind them.
Yo,
that's part of the play.
$20 a head, bro. We need to go back and pan the audience and see how much he made that night.
Yeah. Now that's part of the play. It's like when you put your tip jar out, you got to put a couple dollars in there yourself to make it look like people's already been tipping you.
He messed up. He asked for $20, bro. Am I tripping? I know I heard him say $20.
He's $20 a person.
Yeah.
He said that's $40,000.
And he was trying to get it from the internet. He's like,
no, my point is, you're a pastor. How are you asking for an amount? How does that play out?
Your other boy, Theflo Dollar, does it too.
Whatever happened to whatever God lets you expect, whatever happened to that? That don't matter? $20?
Nope.
Wow. That's strip club money, King. That's
how is that not kidnapping? Because you're not allowing someone their free will to leave.
It's not kidnapping.
Ushers, close the doors.
It wouldn't have been kidnapping. Nah, you could close the doors. But what it is, it's more of like a moral. You make people feel bad. You're guilt tripping. You're manipulating.
That's not Christian-like. That's not Christian-like.
They could have walked out.
That's not Christian-like.
But it's manipulative because people.
I would have walked straight out that door. I said, "Man, Usher, if you don't get my way, I'm gonna punch you right in your face."
But
I never would have paid
it. Like locking the doors is not even more detrimental as the amount coming from a pastor. How are you asking for an amount in church?
You could have.
So they pay Apple Pay and everything now.
Yo, no. I feel you, but. Bro, listen. When I was
asking for a specific amount,
it was just pass the thing over.
Mm-hmm.
And auntie about $2. Sometimes you hear the change go up and down. The pastor ain't never said, "Yo, drop a dub in there. Make sure you put $10 in that joint, son."
Nah,
like an amount at the church.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, that Flow Dollar Church, World Changes, and this was like 10, 15 years ago. I went one time, and what they do is, for all the new people, they have you fill out a card with your information. And most churches do that, right? They want you to sign and, so you can become a part of it. What they started doing, they had if you don't pay up or show up, like now they have a way of knowing who you are when you come in. If you're not showing up or if you don't pay your offerings and like sign off that you paying it, you'll get text messages or calls basically saying you haven't paid. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of those churches like that. And I stopped going and I would get these calls about that. And I'm like, this is crazy. So there are a lot of prosperity preachers, and this is their whole hustle of what they do. And they basically tell you gotta, if you pay, you gotta pay to pray. And if you pay, you get blessed.
So essentially you're saying that church is giving out bills to come to church.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I want to ask y'all this, just to play devil's advocate, no pun intended. So what's the pastor supposed to do to be able to pay the lights, the rent? Is he supposed to just make it up, or is he supposed to go work another job if like the donation's not picking up? What he's supposed to do?
I mean, hey, if you preach the word and you move people gonna they know what they need to do. To me, I feel like if you're not meeting your bills, you either one, you bit off too much church building, so now you got to do the building fund, or people not feeling you like that. Maybe you should go back to a 9 to 5 or something.
This ain't
If
no
you're not
concept.
that good of a preacher, then you need to quit. But to hustle people and try to manipulate people, no. Because there's many of preachers who, man, the people they'll give everything off the clothes off their back, they life savings to the preacher because he's really making moves in their life and they really trust him.
It ain't like, Lil Wayne got a concert coming up, you know what I'm saying? And everybody going to see him, he gonna put an amount on it, and people gonna go see Lil Wayne perform. You chose to be a pastor. Yep. No amount. It's on you. You gotta be nice. You gotta be, you gotta be able to preach the word. You gotta be able to make these people shake. And based on what they feel they can donate should be the situation. Imagine a homeless dude as you going to go to the store and buy some M&Ms or something, and he just be like, "Yo, son, let me get $20." You understand what I'm saying? Like, you be ready to slap this dude. Like, bro, really? Take what you can get. It's the same thing. You don't ask for no amount. Like, yo, bro, I'm good. Yo, I'm just leaving it at that.
But I had said this in previous lives, but I think a lot of this, like what, to take it to Trump, what Trump is doing by removing a lot of the funding from these communities and these programs is what the churches were supposed to be doing. The church is supposed to be paying out the welfare, paying the bills, keeping people safe. And once the government stepped in and started giving that out, I think that's what led to pimping preachers. They're like, instead of being like, you know what, the government's giving out welfare, we'll just get what we need for the bills and keep the church up, and that'll be it. Maybe a few programs for the old single ladies or something. But now they're making it a profit because the government gives out the welfare instead of helping people out. How many churches you would have to go to if your life's about to get cut off and they cut you a check?
No, but because I even have a freestyle where I was like, I want the best whip in the car like a reverend. So ever since I was a little kid, the pastor has always had the best car at the church. So that was growing up that the pastor had all the money and everything.
Yeah, but ever since we were kids, there was welfare too.
Yeah, that's true. But
that's all I'm saying. This is decades old. It's not a new thing.
And them nonprofit, they could use the system really, really well.
Yeah.
Grants and everything.
Facts.
Yep. But that's essentially what a church is, a nonprofit.
That's why you should be asking for no damn amount.
Well, they all struggle. Even the little league teams, all the nonprofits. That's where they always selling stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so a lot of people in the like I made a reel about it and it got like millions of views. And a lot of people were saying that this was a conference and he was trying to cover the cost of the conference. My thing is, I would not have a conference if I didn't have the money up front to cover it. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, I know pastors and I feel like they all struggle. It's always them trying to make money off the kindness of others. You really need an older population in your church that's giving money paying the right tithing. And I feel like a lot of them got that. But, they do nefarious tactics. I don't know if y'all remember that preacher in New York. Some of you might remember where the guy was, that the people were dying and he was getting the insurance money, and there was a pastor like with all the Gucci, all the Louis Vuitton. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Cool ass.
Hey, I want to hit on this comment.
Oh, my bad. I hit it. Go ahead.
All right. Church is the only place to take advantage of the poor. They don't preach truth. All preachers and churches have codes. I agree with that. What I do want to say is church is not the only place that take advantage of the poor. Actually, a lot of these organizations, society and stuff are taking advantage of the poor. Have y'all heard about what DoorDash is trying to do now?
No.
Yeah, Uber Eats, they're trying to basically let you order food and you got 30 days, no interest.
Mm.
Who you think is going to use that? The rich or the poor?
The poor, of course.
Credit cards. That's the whole thing with credit cards.
Keeping them in debt.
Yeah, everybody takes advantage of the poor because the poor don't have, more than likely, the poor don't have the knowledge of money, or they just choose to make bad decisions. But if you got a credit card and you pay, if you got like benefits and points and flight miles, if you pay the balance every month by the due date, there's no interest. But when you leave a balance on there, you got to pay that interest every month, which you'll probably never pay off. So the poor is always getting taken advantage of. It's not just the church.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if anybody else got anything to say?
Nah.
All right. I'm sure we'll have another pimping preacher here soon.
$20.
All right. So this your favorite guy coming up.
Social media figure Andrew Tate is facing a new lawsuit from his ex-girlfriend who claims he beat, choked and threatened to kill her. Brianna Stern says she met Andrew Tate in 2024 and then started dating him, but the lawsuit claims Tate turned demeaning and threatening, referring to Brianna as his property. It alleges that on the 11th of March at the Beverly Hills Hotel, what began as consensual sex between the two ended with Mr. Tate verbally abusing Brianna and then striking her in the face and choking her until she nearly lost consciousness. Following the lawsuit being filed, Ms. Stern posted a statement on her Instagram account saying she still loved Tate despite the accusations she levelled. In a statement to the BBC, Andrew Tate's attorney, Joseph McBride, dismissed the lawsuit, calling it a blatant cash grab. Mr. McBride also attacked Ms. Stern's attorney, Tony Busby, who is representing dozens of people who allege sexual assault against the rapper Sean Diddy Combs. He called Tony Busby a low-life bottom feeder. Mr. Busby, who told the BBC that he is extremely proud to represent Brianna Stern, posted on Instagram saying, "My message inbox is now overflowing with messages of hate." He also alleges that people were saying it's her own fault for dating him. Busby's caption was accompanied by screenshots of alleged texts from Mr. Tate to Ms. Stern, where he refers to her as Hooky Pumpkin Princess. Andrew Tate's attorney told the BBC that these messages were doctored, edited and falsified. He added, "We look forward to crushing Mr. Busby and his attention-hungry, money-grabbing client in court."
All right. So I've been wondering, and maybe y'all can answer this. Why are so many women rooting for him to be guilty instead of waiting on the truth?
Because they can't mess with Kevin Samuels.
I love it.
It doesn't matter who it is, Vulgar. If it's a guy and it's a woman involved, he's guilty until proven innocent. Doesn't matter, bro.
I agree with that.
So basically, they don't believe in the judicial system.
This could be the most liberal guy. He could have literally with the proper age. If they heard he abused a woman, they throwing him under the bus. Trust me.
So you think
that's like Diddy.
Think this is part of the gender war?
I just think that women love playing the victim. Not saying that this girl isn't a victim. I'm not gonna say that she's not a victim. Andrew Tate does some crazy stuff. So he probably, I'm not going to say he's innocent or guilty, but he's done stuff and recorded himself doing crazy stuff. But I feel like whether it's domestic violence, whether it's, being taken advantage of, most women, I'm talking about just average relationships, don't take responsibility. They don't take accountability.
Easy.
I agree. A lot of times in situation, the victim is the opposite person. You don't know what's going on. You don't know all the details of the case and stuff like that. So a lot of people just assume that it's the guy most of the time. So, but that's how it goes, though. I think that's human nature. Honestly, you always point to the guy. So,
Makes sense.
mhm.
85.
Yeah, man. I mean, innocent till proven guilty right now. I mean, all this stuff going on, I believe in the attack on masculinity. I see it every day. And Andrew Tate, very vocal, very outspoken to whatever he believes. And that's masculinity. Like I said, now again, I don't condone none of this stuff if it is these accusations turn out to be true. But I do also know that women do, put themselves in situations to get paid. So if this is another one of those situations, we'll find out.
Yep.
If not, God bless them, because I don't condone that shit. If that's the case, I got a daughter first.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Same here. 2 daughters. So
yeah. Double jeopardy.
Definitely don't condone it. But what I do hate is the people who try to come after me for saying I want to wait and see. And for me I'm optimistic, because if this is something that he didn't do and it was fabricated, that means there was one less woman that was raped, and there's one more man who is actually great. You know what I'm saying? No matter what he says, like, there's an entertainment part to anybody that's on social media, and you're going to have your haters, you're going to have your lovers, each side, especially when you're outspoken like that. But there's some good, like, if you look through what he said, there's some good, and then there's some bad. Like I said, it's an entertainment factor. But it really bothers me, the amount of women who want him to be guilty. If he's guilty, that means some woman was a victim, an actual victim. Like, why would we push this? And then there, like I said, there's less men who are actually good. So that's the thing. It started kind of bothering me that we got women out here who are willing to sacrifice one of their own just so masculinity and men can get a bad name and they could be right. That's what a lot of these women want. They just want to be able to say, I was right, masculinity is bad. And I think that's a terrible stance to have.
Bro, Solange beat up Jay-Z in an elevator. He didn't do nothing, and they still said she was the victim.
I know. Because they do not want to admit that they're good men. That's terrible. And then there are so many men that standing behind them and supporting the same thing. I don't get it.
Derrick Jackson, bro. Hey, I'm gonna say that, hey, women, why y'all messing with these dudes? But I'm gonna be cheating in behind them. You remember Derrick Jackson?
Yeah. But that's where a lot of these women are bred from, because they choose dudes like him. Man, old girl knew what she was into. She knew what she was into, but she had to have a dude that was 6'5", muscular. They'll deal with it until they want to play the victim card. Like, she should still be married to him. You knew what you married.
Yeah, but that's crazy. I mean, like, to be pretending like you telling women all men are bad and then you cheat in your relationship, that's crazy.
Man, she knew everything that was going on.
Everything.
I think what she really didn't want the public to find out. Once the public found out, that's when, and she got embarrassed. Now she trying to save face.
Yeah.
Nah, that's what you chose. Stick it out. All right, now for the main event. I kind of had a segue into that. We're gonna keep on the toxic feminist tonight. Felicia Rashad, why y'all trying to cancel my woman, man?
That was your childhood crush?
Nah.
Oh.